So most people know Jesus walked on water. A lot of people know Jesus calmed the storm, right? Many people know that Jesus fed a multitude with like 5 loaves and 2 fish, or vice versa. With one boy's lunch, he fed a multitude. And he did this on more than one occasion. Some people know that Jesus went into the church and pulled out his whip and started disciplining the people in there, the money changers. You see what I'm saying? Saying, y'all making my father's house a den of thieves. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people know Jesus said, turn the other cheek. Some people know that they say, well, if they take your coat, offer your shirt, something to that effect. Some people know when they came to take Jesus away, his own friend, one of his own disciples, kissed him on the cheek as the signal that this is the one that you're looking for. That was Judas, by the way. Some people know that Jesus healed a man's ear because another one of his disciples took his sword out and sliced his ear off. Was like, you better not touch him. And Jesus had to heal his ear back in an instant. Told his disciple, not right now. Like, don't even worry about it. See what I'm saying? Like, Jesus knew there was an appointed time that things were going to happen. As a matter of fact, right before this happened, Jesus was praying, and it said he was sweating so much that, you know what I'm saying, the fluid of life was coming with it, the color red, the fluid of life. I plan on putting this on TikTok, so I'm trying to, I try to keep things PG-13 period anyway, but every now and then they try to, ding me. And I'm like, I just heard way worse, but I'm not going to focus on that right now. Some people know that, Jesus met a woman at the well and told her, like, you done had like 5 men, and the one you with now ain't your husband. So he told her about herself. But yet she ended up being one of the first people to see Jesus after the resurrection. Magdalene was another woman. She was doing something she wasn't supposed to be doing with somebody else's husband or what have you. They was about to, get the rope, get the rocks. And Jesus said, said he wrote down something real quick. Didn't specify what, but said, he wrote down, and he said, I tell you what, whoever don't have any sin, get to do it. And then next thing you know, he did something else and looked back up and was like, oh, they ain't throw nothing. Well then, if they didn't condemn you, neither do I, but go away and don't sin no more. That's the part, I need to focus on. At least that's why I at least try to put distance between it. And I ain't saying that's still right, but at least, I don't try to succumb to every urge I have. So when Jesus was baptized, that a spirit came down that looked like a dove. Said a voice from heaven came and said, this is my son in whom I'm well pleased. And he was being baptized by none other than John the Baptist. One of his disciples was saying how, he would never leave his side, and, he got his back. And Jesus looked at him and was like, you're going to deny me 3 times before the morning. After Jesus died, and 3 days later, and he was resurrected, right? As word spread out to the disciples, there was one particular disciple who was like, I don't believe it. I'll never believe it unless I put my hands in the holes myself. And Jesus appeared before him and was like, go ahead on and put your hands in the hole. Then the man whose name was Thomas, and I ain't never really met a Thomas that wasn't a doubter, and became Doubting Thomas, so that's their little trademark. He walked right there with Jesus himself, but when it came to the resurrection, he doubted. But when he saw Jesus, he said, that's okay, Jesus. And Jesus was like, no, Thomas. Put your fingers in the hole so that you can believe. But he also said to Thomas, see, blessed are they who receive without seeing. Blessed are those who believe without having to put the fingers in the hole. You know what I was thinking? The reason why, we got to spread the seed and some people got to water and all that kind of stuff is because God put in those of us who wanted to do his way, even though the flesh is weak. But those of us who want to do his will, he puts a code in us that when we hear these words, we awaken and come to life. Okay, that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Okay, this is the only son that didn't come out of Adam. The rest of us came out of Adam. Jesus did not come out of Adam, but he did incubate into Mary.